From the KATC Weather Lab, here's Rob's forecast.
Welcome back. Well, at least another day with a good scattering of showers and storms. Hopefully some of you have gotten the rain you need. Most of us haven't, and some areas still too dry. And unfortunately, rain chances going down and temperatures going back up in the days ahead. So let's talk about this upper level pattern as we look at what appears to be drier air, but colder air aloft, and that's what ignited the storms across the area today. We have a little bit of an upper level trough that is pushing on through, and you can see initially, if you're looking at this map early in the day, oh, it's going to be a sunny, dry day, and then storms scattering out in that drier air mass overall. But that means the storms don't last as long, but they still can produce very heavy downpours, a lot of cloud to ground lightning. We still have some activity locally, but not so much in Acadiana. Now, drier air is going to be moving in eventually, and that's going to knock down the rain chances a little bit, another notch for tomorrow, and even more so Thursday. So that means temperatures going back up, and we're not done with 100-degree days quite yet. So here's the big picture across the region. Again, most of the activity confined to the eastern part of the state for the most part, east of the Mississippi River. Here's a 6-hour loop, and you can see we had a nice downpour here at KATC. Portions of Lafayette picking up a good solid inch or so in some spots. I picked up an inch and a half yesterday in a couple of nice little tropical downpours. And again, activity scattered in nature, but it's better than not having anything in nature or isolated storms. And the action this afternoon, Baton Rouge up through Zachary, then up through Jackson into southwestern Mississippi. A fair bit of cloud to ground lightning, some gusty winds with these storms right along LA 61, then over toward the Clinton area. So some rough weather there. And the action in St. Mary Parish, we can almost always count on it. Things quieting down here, just some sprinkles south of Highway 90 near Franklin. Still a shower here by the Morgan City area up toward near Stevensville. That activity will be dying down shortly. Now, as we scan the Gulf of Mexico and the Caribbean in the tropics, relatively quiet. I thought it was really cool that Cuba just filled up with just a perfect line of showers and storms with sea breeze coming at both sides, and you have orographic lifting, so that's kind of cool to watch. You always pick something out new when you're watching satellite imagery. At least I do love looking at it. And then you get farther to the east, we have another tropical wave coming off the African coast. This one's going to develop, but more than likely stay out in the Atlantic. Another former potential post-tropical cyclone Franklin still has a low-end chance of redeveloping, but the big story is going to be Tropical Storm Lee. You're going to hear a lot about this storm over the next week, as it is going to be a very potent storm, but hopefully missing most land areas, and that is the big news. Lee forming earlier today is a tropical depression, now a tropical storm, 45-mile-per-hour winds, and we do expect this to get up to Category 4 status at the very least. This is the National Hurricane Center forecast, and the intensity models I've been looking at have been solid, way up at Category 4, 145, 150, 155. So this may go to a Category 5 status, but hopefully it will miss the northeastern Caribbean, and this only gets us out 5 days, so we extrapolate up to about 8 or 9 days out, and you can see how the tropical spaghetti plots turn this mainly to the north. This is not going to be impacting the Gulf of Mexico. In fact, I don't see anything impacting the Gulf over the next 2 weeks, and with any luck, it might be a front about 2 weeks down the road. So we'll keep our fingers crossed on that. So here we see, again, Lee showing up here. Drier air working its way into Acadiana as we start next week. So that means we're going to see nice, cool mornings, or pleasant mornings, pleasant nights, but it's still going to get warm during the day. And look at the lines here. This thing is just bombing out. Is going to be a major system. And notice there are more that will be developing out in the Atlantic. But for us, quiet in the Gulf of Mexico, at least in the western Gulf for the next 2 weeks. So as we look at the weather map overnight tonight, 77 the low. Tomorrow back up to 98 or 99 degrees. Wouldn't be surprised if we hit 100 if our winds are light enough or a little bit out of the north, but and maybe an isolated shower or storm late in the day at 20%. As we move into Thursday, though, it's an easier forecast going up to 100 degrees. This is only through 1 o'clock, but we're going to have a northwest wind, and that almost bodes well for better than 100-degree temperatures, even so late in the summer that we are right now. 70s, lower 70s tonight for northern parishes. Not too bad. Mid to upper 70s along the I-10 corridor, and then down along the coast as well. And tomorrow we're going to see readings getting back into the mid to upper 90s across the board. You can see some spots where we're going to see some showers interrupting some of that heat, but we'll go about 98 the high for most spots unless you get caught with a shower or thunderstorm before 2 o'clock, say, in the afternoon. Overnight tonight, though, nice and quiet. Night 77, your overnight low. And then for tomorrow, we'll see readings getting into the upper 90s. A few isolated afternoon, evening storms at 20%. Light and variable winds for the most part. And here we go. 2 more 100-degree days in the forecast. That'll make 34 for this summer. We've had 32 total in the previous 40 years. So the summer that has never ended still doesn't want to end. And I believe it or not, I still can't guarantee no more 100s.
No more?
After the 10-day?
Beyond the 10-day, but I think I see a front coming.
There it is.
Around the 18th, 19th, or 20th that I think will make everybody happy.
That's what we've been waiting for.
Yes.
Time to party.
Yes. There we
Thanks,
go.
Rob.